Peace. So today's mathematics is wisdom. Wisdom, all drawn up or born's culture. So it's 22, or 2 and 2 equals 4. One of the things that we learn from today's mathematics is wisdom. Wisdom means to rightly discern or judge what wisdom actually is. And the best and easiest way to do that is to consider it within the context of culture. So what do I mean by that? Our culture is a sum total of all of our people activities. It's everything that we say as well as do. And that aspect of our way of life will always reveal if there is an element of wisdom that's present there. Well, how? Well, if you see a person's dietary practices, their regalia, the way that they define relationships, child rearing, how they treat the environment, their language, all of these components represents their way of life. And if any of those components are not sustainable or don't outlive them, then you know that there is no wisdom present because they didn't rightly discern whether or not those practices or those activities will be long lasting. When you look at some societies and you look at some of their dietary practices and you say, wow, they have high rates of hypertension and heart issues and obesity and all these other things, then you know when it comes to diet that there's not a component of wisdom that's present there because it doesn't allow them to expand their life cycle or sustain themselves. And that's very, very important to be able to assess, not just in others' cultures, but even in our own. And that is one of the easiest ways for you to rightly discern or judge whether or not wisdom is actually present. Wisdom is oftentimes referred to as the way. And if the way that we do things does not allow us to sustain ourselves, then you know that there's not wisdom that's present there. So this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educational. It just gave those of you some insight into how I'm seeing today's mathematics. Wisdom is the ability to rightly discern or judge what wisdom actually is. And the easiest, most effective way to do that is to just analyze our culture, analyze the cultures of other people. Because if those activities or practices are not sustainable, it does not outlive them, then you know there wasn't a lot of thought put into those activities, which means that wisdom was not present. Peace.